Maritime Wrestling fans, Kevin here for another episode of You Missed Out. My special guest tonight is pretty much the ring announcer of the Maritimes. He's ring announced everywhere and pretty much every promotion around here. Mr. David Boyce.
Hey!
Hey, Dave.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I almost opened up the podcast. Hey, we're here.
Yeah, a podcaster interviewing a podcaster, so could be interesting.
It could be. I'll try not to ask you questions.
You've been, you're on your second year, third year in Maritime Wrestling?
This will be my second full year in this crazy business. 2 years already.
Nice. Like I said, you've ring announced pretty much everywhere. What's been your favorite promotion to ring announce for?
Oh, without a doubt, ISW. I don't want to crap on all the other companies, but I mean, to me, that's my home. So, those guys, fantastic, great bunch of people to work with, other than Dave Collins, of course. I've ring for Vision Pro and Wrestle Center and Red Rock, and I've been everywhere. So, CW, which we're here tonight for. So.
Yeah, we're here.
I'm not ring announcing tonight.
No, we're both here as fans tonight. But you've, like I said, you've ring announced pretty much everywhere. How do you feel the state of? Because the last 2 years, I feel like there's a lot that's evolved in maritime wrestling. So how do you feel that the state of the Maritimes right now? Territory.
Yeah, well, geez. PEI, the Red Rock is just a beast of its own. I mean, if you ever gone to a Red Rock show, you'll understand. If not, go to one because they're fantastic. UCW is revamping and is better than ever. ISW is growing, going to different towns. We did 11 or 12 shows already since the 1st of July, so they're moved into Nova Scotia. It's just great. I think it's. I remember when I first started, there was Wrestle Center and then a couple companies here and there, but ISW, Red Rock, and a few little companies and stuff. But I don't know. It just seems like the maritime wrestling scene is just taking a huge boom, and there's shows every weekend, and Vision Pro's growing, and it's just great to be a fan in the maritime. It's a great time to be a fan.
Yeah, I would say the busiest that it's been in
oh my God, by
decades.
Far. Yeah, it seemed like for years there was no wrestling, and then all of a sudden there's so much. My calendar is just nothing but wrestling shows every weekend.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So, like you mentioned, we're here at Spryfield for UCW. UCW has seen a big influx. They went from having 25, 30 people to, I think last night in Yarmouth. They had like almost 400 people.
Yeah.
Sold out the place. What are your thoughts on UCW and what they're doing now to turn things around?
Well, I think UCW had a bad rep for a while, but they just needed to change a few things. They listened to the fans. They changed it. They got some new faces. They brought in, some of the most popular local guys like Marcus Burke and James Carr and Julian Young. So it's just, I think fans wanted UCW to survive because it's been around for a long time. So I used to go to UCW shows years and years ago as a fan. So it had a low spot for a while, but I think someone just needed to take it, dust it off, give it a good shine, and now it's going. Like last night, they had 400 some people in Yarmouth. So the Matt Hardy show here in Spryfield, so standing room only. So they get the right people now in there. So we'll see how tonight goes. Yeah, should be fun.
And I think the fans wanted to succeed, so I think that's definitely a big boost to them too. So the last couple of years, you've become pretty almost like the face of maritime wrestling a little bit, or you know what I mean? Like you're how do you feel you were accepted by the boys being a non-wrestler, kind of coming into the business?
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day actually. I just came into the business 2 years ago, and no one knew who in the hell I was. And within 2 years, I think I'm respected by most of the guys. I think what I do is I try to give back as much to the business as I can because I've been a fan for 43. So wrestling has been entertaining me my whole life. So once I got my foot in the door, I just wanted to give back, whether it's promoting the guys, designing shirts for them, not asking for a penny. Just if you want to give me a free shirt, fine. But just giving back to the business, I think, gained me a little respect with the boys. I think the whole thing with me quitting Russell Center over some issues, standing with the boys, kind of, I don't know, I think the guys appreciated that. So, I don't know, it is what it is, right? I do what I do, I love it. Anybody can message me 24 hours a day, say, hey, can you do this for me? Yes, I'll do it for you. Like, and I love giving back to the business, so
Right.
I think the guys appreciate that.
And for me, I've never said this to you, but for me, because this is my first year in the wrestling business, and I emulate a lot of what I do based on you.
Jesus, don't do that.
Well, not just the way you behave at shows,
okay.
and your work ethic and stuff like that. Because being a for people who don't know, that there's not a lot of times where the non-wrestlers, are accepted in those kind of roles. So
Yeah.
So I respect the fact that you were able to.
If there's a show, I show up every time at 2 o'clock, offering chairs, bring up whatever I can do, stay afterwards. I'm not in there taking bumps and stuff like you guys, and I never could. But whatever I can do, whether it's hanging up posters to get some tickets sold, I just do it. I love it.
So last weekend, we had our show in Spryfield, IHW.
Spring Hill.
Sorry, what did I say?
Spryfield.
Sorry, we are in Spryfield. It was in Spring Hill. IHW was in Spring Hill, your hometown.
Yeah.
How important was that to you?
It was huge for me. I mean, it sounds corky, but to me, coming into my hometown, bringing something in there I didn't bring it in, but I was part of it. Something that was a part of my life growing up in Spring Hill. Every Tuesday I get my allowance and run down to the store and buy all the wrestling magazines. And, wrestling would come periodically, maybe once. I think I can remember twice. The Wrestling Bear came once, and UCW came a couple times. So yeah, there was a Wrestling Bear. But yeah, just to come to my hometown, my parents came, my sister, my uncle, aunts. They've never seen me in the ring before, ring announcing, so it was a big deal. And of course, coming in town, see my name on the arena sign. I enjoyed it for a second, then I thought, oh shit, the boys are gonna tear me a new one over this. Sure enough, I walked in, and they're like, oh, big superstar. Yeah. But yeah, it was important to me, and my family got to see it, and they said afterwards they loved it, and if we come back, they go to shows. So
I actually met your mom and dad.
Oh, yeah?
on the way out, and I had your picture in my hand.
Okay.
Like, oh, our son.
Oh, okay. It was cool. It's some of my best buddies that I grew up all with. They came and had a good chuckle or two with me. So it was fun. It was we had about 200 people show up, but it was to me one of the highlights of my short career.
How did you find the show? Came off.
Oh, it was IHW.
Yeah.
Their shows from top to bottom are just a great the production value alone on the screen. Show their rosters are fantastic. So you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
IHW comes to your town. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Is there you got anything on the horizon coming up? Any new projects? Any shows coming up you're going to be on? Or?
Yeah, well, TCW has a big tour coming up in August. I'm working for TCW, so I'll be on texting while you're.
No, I'm pulling up the results. I'm pulling up the results of the Spring Hill show. I swear.
Yeah, ask me a question. I was like, well, I don't even want to listen to
I'm pulling up the results of the. I swear, I'm pulling up the
That's
results.
all
of the
right.
show.
I'm boring anyway. You can talk. TCW has a big tour coming up in August. We're doing Halifax, a big show up in Clements Park, which I'm super excited because we're going to camp the night before and rides and all works. Tommy Dreamer's going to be in that tour. What else is going on? IHW's big show in September, cage match. Bruce Steele and Marcus Burke's going to be off the show. So that coming up. We get to announce the inside of a cage, so scratch that one off my bucket list. Other than that, the fall, winter's coming, so the shows will start to slow down and we'll have a little rest. And like last winter, we were like, oh, thank God it's over. And a week later, we're missing it.
Yeah, we're missing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, TCW in August. If we're coming to your town, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So just quickly go over the card from the Spring Hill show.
Yeah, sure.
The The first match was Remy and Kirk. Remy Petit and Kirk Obey. The winner was Remy. Next one was Suave and Jordan Chase.
Yeah.
Suave made an open challenge because Tyson Dukes couldn't make it due to medical emergency, family emergency, which he had an open challenge. Jordan Chase came out, beat him in 20 seconds.
Well,
maybe a little, give or take.
Yeah, I was just going to back up right quick to Julian, to Kirk and Remy. I can't say enough good things about Kirk Obey. In the 2 years that I've known him and seen him in the ring, he's one of the most improved wrestlers.
Gets better every time.
Yeah, and he's part of Exile, so I just didn't just skip over them guys.
For sure.
And of course, Remy was Remy. He's fantastic. My mom was a big Remy fan already. So there you go, Remy. Yeah, Marcus Burke came out, challenged anybody. Jordan came out, a quick match. And then I believe Burke was like, yeah, we're going to make this the best 2 out of 3.
Beat him.
And then beat him again.
Beat him again, even quicker than the first time.
Yeah. Well, Burke was pissed off because Tyson Dukes was supposed to be on the show, and then I had to cancel very last minute. Like I remember it was around 5:30, like an hour before the show. So we were scrambling. But yeah, Burke was pissed off, took it over for Jordan, and then I believe he did a challenge, or you just say he hadn't seen the last of him, and he stormed off.
Yeah, and to move, I'll skip ahead a little bit. Later on in the night, there was a promo between Riddick and Gary,
Gary Williams,
Gary Williams, who were in the main event for the IHW title. Marcus Burke came out, issued the challenge to make it a triple threat.
Yep.
Him, I believe, and he said it on the show, and I believe it's true. Him and Gary have never
wrestled before.
Never wrestled, never touched each other in the ring. So that was pretty special. So that set up the main event, which was going to be a triple threat.
Yeah.
Next up was Julian Young against Exile Steve Arsenault.
Yep. Always a classic.
Always
a get in the ring.
I don't know. There's nothing else I can really say about those two. Like,
they could wrestle blindfolded.
They wrestled. They've wrestled so many times, and every time it's an instant classic. So.
Yeah. And Steve insulted my mother at front row, so that was worth the admission for me.
Oh, nice.
Always insult my mother as you see her in the front row.
The next, after intermission, was Shane Stevens.
Yep.
Against. Was it Titus?
Yeah, it was Titus. Yeah.
Titus and Julie and Shane Stevens.
Titus is the most over person in Spring Hill.
He was.
Yep. I did a little fan cam during intermission, and every single person I asked what their favorite wrestler was Titus.
Yeah. And Shane had a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fantastic deal. I love Shane. Yeah, very good. Next was the rematch between Chris Hicks and Madison Miles.
Well, no, I'm going to correct you because Titus and Shane turned into a 6-man.
Oh, that is true.
It did. See? I do remember.
That's why I have him on the show. So that turned into a 6-man with Exile versus Remy, Titus, and Julian.
Yes.
So that was the 6-man.
And a great 6-man.
Oh my God! Because the thing, like Shane and Titus went 10 minutes before the 6-man, then the 6-man went 10, 15
And a lot of
minutes.
people don't know, but Titus has a really bad ankle. He injured it on the Vision, or no, he injured it on the Nick Teeth show.
And Shane's got a bit.
Well, Shane's just beat up.
Shane's just beat up, and so they were both a little rough for wear, but they were.
But that speaks of
because they still had a great match and a great 6-man.
It speaks how much of professional wrestlers they are, because you would not have known that the two of them were injured, and they went out there and killed it for 10 minutes before it then turned into a 6-man, which lasted another, I believe it was another 12, 15-minute match, and it was off the charts.
Yeah. So it was awesome. Yeah. And then again, like I was saying before, Madison Miles, Chris Hicks, rematch. What can you say about that match? It's entertaining. Chris Hicks is fantastic.
Chris Hicks, to me, is the star of the year. I just love everything he does. Matty, not so much. I love Matty. Great match, entertaining, as always. Chris Hicks, well, he could wrestle a broomstick and it'd be funny to watch. Yeah, and Madison went over, and then Chris Hicks, kind of went out of his own character and shook her hand and gave her the props for not being a female wrestler but being a wrestler. But then, kind of issued the challenge for the show in September. So I think maybe the third and final.
Third final.
Chris Hicks saga.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for Chris Hicks.
Oh yeah, he's our country idol. Our country idol. Then there was the main event,
Yep.
which was like I said before, the triple threat: Burke, Gary Williams, and Riddick Stone, IHW Championship.
3 big boys.
Woo! Yeah. 2 very big boys. 3 very big boys, and they had a good match.
They had a great match.
Yeah.
I love triple threats. They're one of my favorite matches. There's so much you can do. And they did. They pulled out all the stops. The big thing, though, and we didn't really mention it, but during Gary's promo, he gave a little shout out to former wrestler from Spring Hill, Todd McPhee. A friend of mine. Todd was in the audience with his kids. So Gary gave him some love. But at the end of the main event, was it Riddick? Just jumped in and was
What happened is that Riddick won the match.
Yeah.
But then Riddick kind of was started to beat on Swab outside. Then went into the ring and was putting the boots to Gary, which brought in Todd McPhee with a chair.
Todd McPhee jumped in to save his buddy, which was a great moment.
The crowd went absolutely nuts.
Yep.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Hit Riddick a couple times with a chair, then power slammed him.
Yes.
Picked him up for a power slam.
I think he hurt himself too.
Okay, so that's a story that a lot of people don't know. So, and I was talking to Todd after the show. Todd McPhee wrestled as Todd the Bod Douglas for years. Never injured himself once. That night, he popped his knee out from slamming Riddick when he turned. He popped his knee out. I believe it popped back in at the same time. Or I don't know. He was hurt. And he said it was the first time in all these years that he got injured in the ring. It was that night. But yeah, he got the big pop, and then his kids who had never seen him wrestle or see him get injured were pretty upset. They jumped in the ring. His daughter was crying, and Burke got back in the ring, and Gary, and they all kind of put Todd up, or the kids up on their shoulders, and Todd. And it was a great moment for anybody who followed wrestling in Spring Hill, who knew Todd and stuff. So it was great.
Yeah, and the show ended with Suave putting you over, and
yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting it. He told me to come in the ring and said a few nice words for me, and I appreciate that. Eric, Marcus Burke, has been one of my close friends in this business. So, and of course Gary, I call him Dad, my Vegas partner. It was nice. It was nice just in front of my home ground, and they're like, the ring is yours, and left, and my mom saw me and cheered. It was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a nice.
I marked out for myself.
There you go. Yeah. Boyce, Dave was a big fan of RP too.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, never happen again.
Well, thanks guys. That's it for this episode. Dave, I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Beautiful day in Halifax.
There you
nice
go.
to get out in the breeze.
Once I become a bigger deal, maybe I can be on your podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't done podcasts ever.
All right, guys. Well, if you're in the Halifax area or Royfield tonight, UCW.
Is this being online tonight?
No, it won't be online.
Oh, then I'm not going to drive to Spryfield tonight. Aha! But go to the TCW tour.
In August.
Yes, in August. There you go. You'll have lots of time to drive there.
So Dave has made me feel stupid on my own podcast. So that's, I think, where we should end. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.